Part two, of course I have to go and return these sneakers. I'm thinking, you know what, I'll go in the store today, I'll return them, and I'll just get a half size bigger. I take them into the store, and I'm like, hey, can you all give me a half size bigger? And they're like, of course, we could, but we don't have them on the floor. And I'm like, well, why don't you have these on the floor? They're very popular. They were like, oh, they sold out fast, and they only sent us a limited amount. I was like, well, why would they do that? These are really popular. They were like, I don't know. I asked the sales associate, I said, how often do the associates or the managers talk to the buyers in this store? Because I worked at the store early on in my career, and one of the biggest issues everyone had is the products in the store don't match the demographic of the area whatsoever. As a guy, we never get to talk to the buyers, and I really don't understand that. And I'm like, it's been many years, and buyers are still arbitrarily putting merchandise on floors without any understanding of what people want. I think that's freaking insane. What I also think is insane, because I wrote a whole article about this, is the fact that if you're only using quantitative data alone, what sold well and what didn't, that can only show you but much about what needs to be on the floor. In the absence of qualitative data, which when I say qualitative data, I think people get overwhelmed, but qualitative data is just feedback. It's just literally when people say, oh, y'all should get more of these, qualitative data. When someone's in the fitting room and they're like, oh, do y'all have this to match? Qualitative data. When someone says, oh, this didn't really fit me well, qualitative data. When someone says these are really popular, qualitative data alongside of quantitative data would make a lot more sense when it comes to making sure you satisfy your customer needs. And I just had the little conversation with the sales associate, because I was like, I just think in an era where we have AI and all this stuff, it would be easy for you to just listen to customers. You could literally put feedback loop systems all over your store, or you could just listen to the sales associates. They are literally the point of reference between what the customer wants and what exists in inventory and what doesn't. And it just really shocks me, because what is the purpose of having a buyer and they don't have access to the right data and they're merchandising wrong? Which eventually what happens is everyone in this area is always, I like this particular store that I won't name, but they don't ever have anything that I'm looking for. And that is the sentiment all the time. And over time, if you compound that sentiment, guess what happens? People stop coming in, which is like, why are we trying to catch the problem after it happens versus being proactive?